Welcome to Storytime. Immerse yourself in the dark and breathtaking universe of Sicario. The intense images of this recap video will remind you of the most memorable scenes of this captivating thriller. You'll feel the palpable tension of the war against Mexican drug cartels, the complex psychology of the characters, and the boundless violence of this unforgiving frontier. Make yourself comfortable, let yourself be carried away, and relive the intense and emotional experience of Sicario. Operating in the Phoenix area, near the border with Mexico where the cartels have turned the place into a lawless zone. Kate Macer and Reggie Wayne are FBI agents, members of the HRT unit. During an intervention in a house under construction, they accidentally discover immured corpses that can only be victims of the cartels. The unbearable smell of bodies in a state of decomposition will invade them deeply to the point of making them vomit their guts. Their superiors, however experienced, are also shocked by the unsustainability of this carnage. Suddenly, by inadvertently triggering a powerful explosion, two of their colleagues die in the operation. Then, in front of her service records in perfect adequacy with the profile sought, Kate's bosses ask her to join a joint task force led by Matt Graver of the CIA. Their possible mission is to apprehend beyond the laws in force Manuel Diaz, one of the strategic lieutenants of the Sonora cartel. Overwhelmed by curiosity and the attraction of strangers, she agrees to be part of the team's volunteers. At the same time, in Mexico, under the loving care of his mother, a little boy asks his father, Silvio, a night policeman, to take him to play soccer. Meanwhile, the commando travels to Juarez in Mexico to transfer Diaz's brother, Guillermo. Just before takeoff, they are joined on board the aircraft by the mysterious Alejandro Gillick. When they arrive, they are greeted by Steve Forsing, who drives them to the airbase offices. Also present at the planning meeting are members of the Delta Force and the CIA. The wall, the artificial border cutting off the desert view which stretches as far as the eye can see, accompanies them to Mexico. The convoy of vehicles spins like a snake sliding towards its prey. The trip is under escort and under tension to the El Paso border. Horribly mutilated bodies are exposed to the view of all ensuring an omerta that weighs on the population. In a high-security area, they pick up the detainees and immediately leave for the border. He comes up against monstrous traffic jams and does not take long to spot suspicious armed individuals belonging to the cartels. The members of the cartel attempt an assault, but are taken aim by the alert professionals. Initiating the gesture of aimed with their weapons, they are all killed under the eyes of the frightened civilians. On her guard, Kate kills a corrupt policeman who was sneakily attacking her. Back in the United States, she is especially shocked by the violence of her teammates, who do not hesitate to kill without being in a state of self-defense. The night is set ablaze on the other side of the border because the death of the leader of a cartel leads to a war of succession and numerous shootings in the city. The prisoner is immediately placed in the interrogation room, and the water brought in suggests savagery. Alejandro tortures Guillermo, who reveals that the cartel is using a tunnel in Nogales to smuggle drugs. The investigation forces them to interview migrants in order to verify the information. For his part, Kate and Reggie confront Matt, who explains to him that their goal is to disturb the villainous operations of Diaz, so that he leads them to Baron Alarcon Fausto. She asks Reggie to join her to help her. At a bank where Diaz is handling cartel money, Delta Force launches a raid and locks up the suspects. Faced with the staggering sums, Kate and Reggie think they can get them legally. But they are amazed by their superiors obeying orders and asking them not to try anything so as not to compromise the operation. To change Kate's mind, Reggie takes her to a wild pony bar. Chatting over a beer, she meets one of her friends, Ted, a policeman. About to sleep with him, Kate understands that he is in cahoots with the cartel. A violent fight breaks out with him, and he is about to strangle him to death. She is narrowly saved by Alejandro. He and Matt knew that if she went to the bank, the cartel would know her face from the cameras and try to attack her. Thanks to this bait and to Alejandro's unsuspected interrogation techniques, they managed to obtain from Ted the names of the other corrupt policemen. During this time, being present near his father like every morning, the young boy asks Silvio to accompany him to play football. On the constant hunt, the team learns that Diaz has been recalled to Mexico, and so the men prepare to launch the assault on the tunnel. In a garage serving as a cover at an entrance to the tunnel, Silvio the policeman receives a shipment of narcotics which he must transport in his service vehicle. At dusk, the squad launches the assault equipped with infrared night vision goggles. The Americans coldly kill the narcos as they advance lethally. In a warehouse on the Mexican side, while the policemen hasten to unload the drugs because of the gunshots heard, Alejandro emerges and threatens Silvio, gun in hand. Kate tries to stop her, but Alejandro shoots his bulletproof vest, incapacitating her. Then he gets into the police car with his captive. Back outside, Matt explains to Kate that their goal is to merge all the cartels into a single unit, like the one in Medellin, so that the US government can control it more easily. Alejandro, a former prosecutor and member of the Colombian cartel, was hired to kill Alarcon, who had murdered his wife and daughter by dissolving them in acid. On the way to Mexico, Alejandro asks Silvio to stop Diaz's car. He kills Silvio and injures Diaz in the leg. The assailant orders Diaz to take him to his leader's property. Alejandro kills the Baron's bodyguards and progresses through the luxurious mansion. He surprises the latter at the table where he dines with the family and sits among them. Hearing the motive for his revenge, the mother and her sons are terrified. Alarcón tries to reason with him, but Alejandro coldly kills his sons and his wife. Then, for a time, he savors the revenge, the sight of the immeasurable distress felt by Diaz, before finally killing him. The next morning, while Kate is smoking on her balcony, Alejandro surprises her. He extorts her by threatening to kill her to sign a document certifying that the operation took place in complete legality. Kate bursts into tears and signs. The assassin advises him to be transferred to a small town where the law is still respected, explaining to him that the border now belongs to the wolves. While he's in the parking lot, Kate rushes to her balcony and nervously points her gun at him. They look at each other for a long time. She can't pull the trigger because he saved her life, and Alejandro leaves quietly. Then, during a football match of the son of the deceased Silvio, the game is interrupted because of the sounds of shooting caused by the death of the leader of a cartel, which always results in a war of succession. Thank you for enjoying this exciting film with us. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell. See you soon on Storytime.